I'm curious, when did you guys start writing the record that became Existence is Futile?
Actually, we wrote it whilst we were on the road. It's been a long time between albums, and well, naturally, we had a pandemic in the interim as well. We finished it shortly after we came back from tour. We finished the tour November the 1st in 2019. And we were in the studio, fortunately, recording drums in February of 2020.
Prescient timing, I guess, that you were writing this record at the end of 2019 and beginning of 2020. And then, of course, the world actually really went to shit right after that.
Yeah. But I mean, everybody asks us, is this about the pandemic? And it's like, no, actually, it was written before. I mean, the world went to shit a long time ago. This is just a small wake-up call. I mean, in the greater scheme of things, I know lots of people have died, and it's fucking literally brought the world to its knees financially. But hopefully, it will be a wake-up call. But it wasn't written for the pandemic. It was actually inspired by being 3 years on the road and visiting these huge sprawling metropolises, or metropoli, if that's the correct term, across the world, and just sort of thinking, you know what, it feels like something is going to happen soon. Not every time we say this, well, yes, the pandemic happened, but more serious than that. Like we ever heading toward Armageddon, or reaching to get our shit sorted out, and maybe the world leaders and the WHO, not the WHO, the band, the World Health Organization, actually stick to their promises, and we actually look at the problems that the world is facing and address them. I mean, that was a wake-up call when I was in Mexico, and I was like standing in a square, and there's just like so many people, and I just thought, how are we actually, how's the planet supporting all these people? Not just here. I've been to India that year as well, and Russia, and it just seemed to me. I know, of course, you're not going to put us in a field in Virginia where there's no one. We're all obviously going to be playing shows in big cities, but it still had that vibe to it. I just felt like that day in particular was very stuffy as well, and I felt very claustrophobic, as if all the air was being sucked out my lungs by other people. So yeah, I guess that probably was the initial catalyst for the album.
Right. Yeah.
Existentialism is probably the main theme.
I think I saw a quote from you talking about the record a bit, saying that, some people might perceive the title and some of the lyrical themes as, pretty nihilistic and maybe kind of defeatist, but I think you said you don't really see it entirely that way.
No, exactly. There's a silver lining, as you mentioned before, a glimmer of hope. I mean, it's basically saying that, if it renders all religion obsolete, that statement, because if there is no, and I'm not saying there is or isn't, but if there's no great after plan, no master plan, or, golden ticket at the end, and St. Peter at the gates, etc., whatever, then and this is a happy accident that in all the billions of stars, we've managed to create life, and do all the things that we do, and we're here, and it is a happy accident, then it's to be embraced and cherished and nurtured. But I think the record also dictates in its way that it should be with respect. It's okay to go out, crash and burn, but you don't want to take everybody else out with you. Why am I being so nice? It's so weird.
I was just gonna say that's. I think if people were not very familiar with you or with your music, and maybe only familiar with some of the iconography on a surface level, they might be surprised to hear you talking that way.
They probably think I've been taken over by a pod person or something. It grew quite naturally. The record, and before we knew it, we were in the studio. Yeah, we were very lucky, as I said, because we could have been on the other way around. Like a lot of bands I know just finished their album and they were going out to tour it. And in fact, one band in particular I know had everything ready, tour bus, merch, and then they were 4 or 5 days into the tour, and woof, got to fly home before borders closed. I mean, that would have been shocking. We were very lucky in respect that we were really on the cusp of entering the studio. Well, we were in the studio and managed to piece it together. And here we are back out on the road. And it's just weird. It's weird to see everybody adhering to the mask rule. I mean, we've got a very strict protocol going on backstage, you know, because before we came, we heard all these horror stories about this tour's coming down, that tour's coming down. Someone got ill on this tour and they had to like send the band home. And yeah, quite frankly, one person gets ill, crew, band alike, and it's all over. I mean, you know, can't really, how are we going to self-isolate? We're on a fucking tour bus, you know? There's a lot of people that don't want to come because they aren't vaccinated, or people just don't want to go out in general. And you kind of seeing that a little bit, but I'm quite surprised how back to normality everything is, bar the masks. You know, a lot of people are worried that they're being, you know, monitored by the government. It's like, you're not really that important. Don't worry about it. They monitor you anyway through your phone and your TV. Get over it, you know.
Right.
Unless at the point everybody's going to press the kill switch, you know, and we'll just blow up because we've had the virus. So, you know, I seriously doubt, and I had this conversation with someone. It was like, why would the world go to shit for this? You know, why would governments be bankrupted for this?
For all the people who said that this is some sort of government hoax or what have you, this frankly would be a really shitty hoax for whoever started it, because everyone suffered just the same.
I know several people have these massive conspiracy theories, and one person in particular has got COVID at the moment, and they're like texting me every day saying, "Oh man, I'm so ill. I can't believe I disbelieve this. Like, I am so ill. I'm in and out of hospital, having blood tests, having drips, you know, vitamin injections. 3 weeks now that person's been ill."
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah. Anywho,
has it made it difficult for you with you know, have you encountered other musicians within your scene, like maybe people that you're close with or used to tour with, who have had, you know, some controversial or differing views on the whole thing, how to approach, you know, the virus and public safety and all that with their tours?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm not going to name anybody here, but yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. No, I wasn't going to. I was literally about to go into naming the person, but I won't. Because
you were like, should I? No, almost. There's that kind of public perception from people who don't really know your band. And then obviously there's fans who have been listening to you for a while and who understand that as far as the lyrical content and the presentation goes, there's obviously a lot more than just, you know, the surface value, I don't know, shock or whatever. Granted, you guys used to certainly get off on shocking people and doing things over the top. Do you feel that that's still something that you need to do or want to do as a band this far into your career?
Well, it was never our game plan. It was just like, sometimes you get out of bed alongside the proverbial grave, you know? And it was just part and parcel of our instinct, I suppose. Obviously, the Jesus shirt is still an issue. It will always be an issue, I guess. But no, I wouldn't say we're a shock rock band at all. I mean, we do things, and, you know, people get offended by them occasionally, then we're obviously doing it right. I mean, it's not our problem that people, you know, have the narrow views. That's how I see it. You know, the goalposts have been moved. So I don't think it's anything new. I wouldn't consider us a shock rock band at all. Yeah, okay, we've done a few things along the way, you know, but no biggie, really.